Hey everybody, Zach here with Gunner Plotter, and we are going to essentially show you how to operate and get your system set up correctly. Alright, so when you first get your gunner, it's going to be in a box and come in from freight, and then obviously you're going to assemble it. There'll be instructions in there how to do it. It's super easy to put together, and specifically today we are going to be seeing the GR8000-180. So this is the plotter that we're going to be working with today and showing you the operation of how it works, okay? So we got the GR180 and obviously the setup of how everything works. So obviously this plotter, you're going to be cutting either window tint or paint protection film, realistically, or maybe in vinyl, depending on what your company does and what it specializes in. All right, so overall, super easy to use. We're using Trucut. If you're using Trucut, you will need to have the software updated for the driver onto your computer. Super easy, just give us a call and we'll assist you through that and getting you through Trucut and obviously getting that driver set up on your computer. It's literally nothing that you have to do besides make the phone call, connect them, and then obviously they will install the driver and then you're compatible with Trucut. So for instance, setting up your system, your speed is going to be set initially at 50 and your force is going to be somewhere around in the 110-ish area, and this is your downward force for your cutter, okay? So this is where it's very similar to other major competitors. So obviously, this is where you put your blade in here and you unscrew it from here. This is essentially a locking nut to prevent it from backfeeding. So you want it to where that blade is flush, where you can barely see the tip, and you put it in. And make sure that the bevel is over and on the other side, and you clamp it down. And then for window tint specifically, what I have found out, obviously, and that's why I'm going to share it with you, so you have your grit roller positions throughout, just like your other brands. And here's your grit rollers. And so what I have found out is obviously, just like any other thing, with any other plotter, you want to make sure that your two outside ends are the strongest points. Here's your tensioning and tightening. So tight is up, loose, make it a little bit looser. You can adjust the tension of these on the back side, and I'll show you that more here in just a minute. So we have your two outside edges as your main focus points, and then I have my guide feeder to maintain the guide in the middle, and I have it honestly just sitting there to help promote it to want to go, and to keep things moving fluently and not get bunched up. We also have a nice feature too. Flip this up here. This is test tent, so it's not like it's being used on a car right now. This is your cutting guide right here, all the way through on the front side of your plotter. So for window tint specifically, for you window tint users, speed should be right around anywhere between 150 or less on your speed. And in your force, you obviously have to test it and see what works well for you for the film that you use. Specifically in this scenario, we are using Suntex carbon film. And I know that some other films that are very compatible will be somewhere around in this force down pressure. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you guys how to do a test cut. So once you got your knife in the toggle holder and everything's ready to go, you have your film ready. And what I like to do is I actually like to have the tint, instead of being on the rollers, just having it sit in between two rollers. And that's honestly the best thing to do, so then you don't have a bunch of film that will go down on the ground and get dirty and get exposed to everything. So to do your test cut, you have your online and offline, and I'll go over that here in just a minute as well. There's a lot. It's a simple machine, I promise you. It's not super difficult. So make sure it's in offline, and to make sure that if it goes in online or you accidentally press it, this is how you get it by pressing the run stop. This is how you get it on online, offline. All right, so all you have to do is hit test. It'll do what it's supposed to do. And then obviously we have our triangle, and then what you want to do is you want to have it to where your box, it will come out. So if you can, get yourself a little pick and pick this out, and then obviously your triangle should stay. Personally, I like it to where when I cut, to where it cuts down through the actual film, and obviously the clear protective media on the media side as well. So it cuts all the way through, so then I put it on the peel board and then peel away, and then I'm done. So I have mine set up a little bit differently, but it's all personal preference. I know that my machine is dialed into what I like personally. So then we're gonna hit the back button here, the enter button, and it'll go back. All right, so now that I have my machine set, but before we go into that, I need to show you how to change your speed and your force down, okay? So set button, there's your force. You can do your up down buttons to change your force. And then you hit enter before you move on to the next one. Then hit settings again. If you want to change your speed, same thing with your up down, and then hit your enter to save. Go over your travel speed. Personally, I like mine at 500, me personally. But if you want to change it, by all means, then you hit enter, and then you go back in your settings and do the same thing. Your knife offset, it comes standard at 0.53. And then this goes over your user presets. So if you have like user presets, obviously you can go into that. And then different interfaces, language that you want to speak, obviously speak it to, your version. We always want to make sure that your plotter is at Gunner Plotter 1800, and then this is your version 16.2. Okay. And then to go back, you just hit the setting button. Sorry, the enter button. And then to get it to go off of the plotter and to do a cut, you always have to make sure that one, you're hooked up to your USB, and two, you put it to online. There we go. So now my machine is ready to cut. All right. So this specifically, we are using Trucut's program. So we're going to do I honestly like to do my cuts off of Camaro's window. Honestly, it's actually one of my favorite ones to do my test cuts, because it gets you the angles that you're wanting with the 45-degree angles. And I'm going to do a 24-inch film because I'm just doing a test at this point. Group nest it, take it down to the corner, and then we are going to do our cut. Perfect. And then to get it to, we're going to kick it back offline, and then we're going to take this past the cutting line, and there you go. So you have your Camaro rear window. You will have, this is completely normal, you will have your grit roller lines in your film on the outside edges. And I was doing a little bit of testing. You can see it on this one, but I was doing a little bit of testing, doing some tensioning before I started this video. But I ended up loosening it up all the way. So as you can see, I have it to, it's kind of hard to see now. your grit roller and it disappears. So I actually have my tension on the back side completely loosened up to where it is flush on both tensioning on that side there. All right, so it's super easy. Then you obviously just take it, cut it, go put it on your peel board, and then now you're ready to peel the tent off, and then obviously you're ready to install. Super easy plotter to work with, very affordable, and I'm telling you what, this thing is heavy duty and super satisfied. And obviously we use different cutting tips, and to make it a little bit easier for you, we can order these right here in the United States. There's nothing that you have to order out of country. Everything can be ordered in-state via Amazon. So hope you guys have a great day, and I appreciate your time.